Hello, I'm Stephen McMenzie from Dutchview. I'm the account manager for the UK for our Ed Controls product, which we're going to talk about today. We were founded in the Netherlands about 10 years ago. One of our directors, who used to be a site manager, along with his colleague, they worked in construction for many years and they found that they were having problems on site with paperwork going missing and that kind of thing. So they decided to utilise technology. Everyone's got a smartphone in their pocket these days, so they thought, well, why not use it? They used an iPad, the first version of the iPad, to start off with. It didn't even have a camera on it, but they were still able to upload PDFs, highlight where they were, and there was a lot of interest from people that they work with on their projects, and they decided to try and make a real product out of it. We've grown to be the largest company in the Netherlands, so we're the market leader for this kind of product, and we've expanded into other geographies as well. We've now got offices in the UK, Germany and India. We've had over 40,000 projects completed on our system over the years, and over 9 million snags have been recorded. At the minute, we've got 80,000 users globally on the system. This year has obviously been extremely tough for everybody, and you'll have seen a lot of these images and signs up all around the site, and we've got new rules that we need to follow. Our industry's been affected massively by this. We've all got to keep a safe distance from each other. We're limited on how often we can go to site. We've got to follow all of these rules on this sign to make sure that we comply with government guidelines. So with Ed Controls, we've been able to help people adapt to this, and people have been working remotely where possible. Ed Controls allows them to do this and share information with each other without having to visit each other in person. The limits on the number of people on site mean that the number of site visits that we normally have to do aren't possible, but we can still assign tasks to people remotely by utilising software, and we can still have an overview of what work is being done on site without actually physically having to be there. So now I'm going to show you how our system works on tablet and on smartphone. So Ed Controls is an app that you download from the App Store. This is what you see when you log in. You'll have your list of projects here. I've just got the one, which I'm going to click into in a sec. Above that, you've got a list of all of the tickets and audits, which are essentially snags and forms that are in your name. So when I come into the project, I've got the folders on the left. They can be split however you want. I've just kind of given them generic names. And on the right is the snag list with the most recent one at the top. So I'm just going to open up this drawing and zoom in on exactly where the issue is, so I can raise a snag against this exact point on the drawing. If I tap on it, it'll open up the camera automatically. So I'm just going to take a photograph here of an issue. We're going to say this is a cracked tile. If I want to highlight exactly where the issue is, then I can do. I can also attach multiple photos if I want as well. And there we are. I've got the location. I've got all of the photographs related to this particular snag. Now I need to assign it to somebody. So I'm just going to put in my email address. It remembers the email addresses as you go, so you don't have to type them every time. In full. So I've assigned this to him. This is the responsible person. They need to fix it. The other fields that we've got here, consulted, that's if you want to allow someone to comment on it, and informed is read-only access. I'm going to give it a due date and a title, which again it remembers, similar to the email addresses. It also does that with description, but description's kind of optional really. Picture will basically do all of the talking for you. We've also got the tag option here. It's like a custom field. We get a lot of requests for people to add extra fields here. We think the more fields there are, the less get used. So we've put the tag functionality in there as an option. It's another way for you to use for kind of filtering and search criteria later. The most popular one being clean up your mess. So I've added that tag. So when I come to search at a later date on tickets, I can search for all cleanup tickets that have been raised. And there we can see the snag has been raised. So the red icon is outstanding, that has been assigned to somebody. The yellow ones, which I'm just going to highlight here, you can see the filters in the top left. If I click on those, I can switch between them. Red is outstanding, green is completed, and yellow is just an observation. It might be like a progress photo or something that you've noticed is wrong, but you haven't assigned to anybody yet. If you're happy with a completed ticket as well, so it's been sent back from the subcontractor you've assigned it to, you're happy with it, you can archive it so that it doesn't appear on the drawing. So you just swipe across and click on the tick. It disappears from the drawing, but you can always get it back. You just use the filters and click on the archive option. So nothing's ever deleted from the system. So this is kind of what a drawing will look like once you've got your snags on here. I'm going to click on that one that we've just raised. I'm logging in here essentially as a subcontractor, so this is what they'll see. They'll only be able to see tickets that have been assigned to them. They come in and they change the status to completed, and they can put in notes to say that it's been completed. So I'm just going to type fixed, and I can also attach a photo of the completed work just to prove that it's been done. And if I save that and click on save, now it's gone green. So what we've done there is raised the ticket, we've assigned it to the subcontractor, they've clicked on it to say that it's been fixed. If I'm happy with it, I can leave it just on completed, or I can reassign it if I need to. If I'm happy with it, it makes sense to just archive it as mentioned before, rather than cluttering up the drawing with all of the completed ones. But if they haven't done it properly, I can change the status back to started, reassign it to them, or if I want, I can reassign it to somebody else. So I can put in a different email address. You might have an issue where there's a crack in the wall, the plasterer's fixed it, but you then need to reassign it to the painter. I can do that. So the ticket's open, it's been reassigned to somebody else. As you can see, it's now got a new name against it, and you've got the full audit trail of everything that's been done. So you can always see exactly what's been done with each ticket, and no one can kind of make things up or get creative with the truth, shall we say. I'm just going to open up the geographical map here, which is another option. This allows you to snag against your location. So there's the lovely Excel in London where we should have been. You can see I've raised the ticket against that location previously, probably last year. But I'm just going to zoom in on my location. If you click the locator on the bottom right, it takes you to where you are. Shows you your GPS location. If you tap on that, then you can create a ticket the same way that you would before. So you can take a photo, take multiple photos if you want, highlight it, assign it to somebody. The process from there is exactly the same. It's handy from projects when you might be working on maybe roads or bridges, anything where you might not have a drawing to work from. Just use GPS and the snagging process is the same. So in terms of snags, that's more or less it. We call them tickets because it's not always a snag. Sometimes it could just be an RFI or just a request to get something sent to you. If you want to report on it, you can click on the little icon in the top right. So on this one, I've just filtered for all of the outstanding tickets on this drawing. It's quite a basic report, but you can do it on the mobile device and it'll email the report to you. So we'll just switch to audits, which are forms and checklists. We've got the three tabs at the top: tickets for snags, audits for forms. Library is just where you upload the drawings, which we'll touch on in a sec. These are completed forms. So I'm just going to open up this one and show you what a completed form looks like. It's just quite a basic one, this, but the options have been filled in and the signature's at the bottom. This one's incomplete, as you can see, so it saves the percentage, saying that one's 27% done. So it allows you to save a form as you go. Some people use them for daily checklists and fill in a section of it each day, but this one I'm going to create a new one. I'm selecting this drawing because I may need to raise some snags as I go. So I've selected the drawing and I can assign it to somebody if I want, put their name in the responsible field, but I'm just going to fill this out myself. So this is a pre-created form template, which I'll show you how we create them in a second when we switch to the web interface. But it's just a list of questions, different answer types. Yes, no, not applicable is the most common. It's the quickest way to go down and fill them in, so I'll just tap them as I go here. You'll see there's a little highlighted icon on the right here. Now that icon exists against every question. It allows you to raise a ticket or upload a photo against that question. You can make that field mandatory, as is the case here. You don't have to, it's optional, but for this one, it has been set as mandatory, so it won't let me fill in the form without raising a ticket. So I'm just going to take a photo. I'm not going to assign it to anybody, but it's just a basic question. Are the drawings available on site? Let's just say I've taken a photograph of the drawings as evidence, but you don't have to make it mandatory, the option's always there. So we've got different answer types, multiple choice, kind of like a drop down, and you can also have tick boxes like this one. So as we're in Newcastle, it's dry and cloudy. This one's free text, so you just type in your response, and as you go down, you can add any comments on any of them if you want. If you're happy with it, then you just tap on click here to sign, put in your signature and click on finish. And there we have a completed form. So you can use this for anything you want really. the form questions are completely editable, so you can change them and make them up as you wish. If we open it up, we'll see what the completed one looks like. You can run reports on this as well, so you can get a nice little PDF which shows exactly how the questions have been filled in. A lot of people use these for stuff like site diaries, induction forms. It's entirely up to you. So let's just switch to the library. This is just an area, it's kind of like document management light. It's basically just for uploading drawings that you might want to view or PDFs that you might want to view on site. These are just a couple of drawings that I've uploaded for snagging. We'll switch to the web interface and I'll show you how they are uploaded. So here we are on the web interface. web.edcontrols.com is how you log in. When you log in, you'll see a similar layout to what we had on the tablet before. A few little extra options on here. You've got the option to click on the project dashboard. So this gives you an overview of all of the projects that you're working on. A little bit less than normal years, as you can probably imagine, but we've got a list of all of the tickets and audits and a breakdown of project by project at the bottom. So it's a good way of getting a report and an overview of all of your projects that you're working on at any one time. And you can also run reports off that information, so you know exactly where you stand. Back onto the home screen, we've also got the option to create a new project as well. So if you want to create a new project from start, this is the information that it asks you for. We've got the existing one here that we've just been working on. If I want to edit it, I can just click on the little pencil icon, change the name, edit the logos if I wish, and also set who is responsible for the project. So the accountable person, usually this would be a project manager, could be a quality manager perhaps, whoever's going to be raising tickets and creating forms. You can add additional people into the support field as well, so they'll have a similar role. Informed is if you want to give someone read-only access, and consulted allows people access to comment and view, but they can't create anything or change the status. This is at project level, but you can do that on a ticket by ticket basis as well for informed and consulted. Accountable and support, that's set at project level. That gives you access to everything across the project. So when we log in, layout's the same. We've got a few extra options at the top. So we've got the tickets, audits and library, which we already know. We've got the completed tickets, there's the completed forms. Library, this is how we get the drawings or any document you like into the system. You can split the folders however you wish. Again, just got a few generic names here. If I want to upload one, I can click on upload drawings for tickets. That's if I want to be able to raise snags against it. If I just want to upload a standard file, Excel file or something like that I might want to be able to view on site, I can also do that here. So I'll click on upload for tickets. I'm just going to upload a standard drawing. It's about 4 or 5 meg, this one. It's a PDF. It'll also take JPEGs. Various other file types are accepted. Shouldn't take too long to upload here, and once it is uploaded, the system will automatically convert it to a drawing that you can raise tickets on. So it usually only takes a few seconds. They don't need to be like calibrated or anything like that. As you can see, it's already done it there. We've got the little message in the bottom right, so it's ready to go. That little bell icon also changes colour. If it's working on something behind the scenes, it goes amber and then green once done. So that drawing is now in the system. We can start raising snags on it straight away. So the idea is that everything is quick. It enables you to go from a blank project to actually snagging on site as quickly as possible. So on the templates option here, this is something we didn't have on the tablet. This is where we create the templates for the forms that we were working on. So if I want to create a new one, this is what I get. It's just a blank canvas. I can add as many questions as I want. I can split it into multiple categories. It's up to you what you do. These are the different options that you can have for answer types as well. So yes, no, not applicable, most common, but you can also have free text, multiple choice as we looked at before on the example. So if I want to edit one, I'll just use that digging and cable team one that we completed on the tablet a minute ago. This is what we were working from, so this should look familiar. If I want to change any of this, I can edit the answer types. I can change the options that are available on the multiple choice questions. If I want to add various different weather types, might be getting into snow soon, I can add different questions, anything I want. As soon as I save this, those changes are reflected on the project. So anyone who wants to go and fill out a form or complete a checklist, the changes I make here are reflected straight away. That option there we're just highlighting was the mandatory ticket option that we explained before. And there's not much more to it than that. We like to keep it simple and it can be edited in full by the user. So let's have a look at that completed form that we've just filled in, and I'm going to run a PDF report on it so you can see the shiny little reports that we can get out of the system so that you can get a nice overview of what you've been doing. And there we are, the little bell icon's gone green, so that is ready. It's published the report and it's also going to email that to me as well. And this is what it looks like. So the picture there, that's what we determined when we set up the project. It tells you which drawings you're working from and it gives you an overview of how the questions have been answered, highlights any tickets that may have been raised. There's the email of the project report coming through as promised. And if you go down, you can see the signature, when it was signed, who it was signed by, and you can run that report across multiple forms. You can also run an Excel report, so you can just get the raw data. You might want to report on lots of forms at once. You can see patterns, how certain questions are answered, that kind of thing. You can also run those kind of reports on the tickets as well. So if I want to search for just outstanding ones or just completed ones, I can use the filters. I can filter by the responsible person, so I might want to look at all tickets in that person's name. I can filter by the tag option, anything I want. I can also just type in the top right. I can click and type in any information I want to search. Click on the report option. These are the report options that we have available. A detailed report will give you everything. So it'll give you all of the pictures, all of the comments. A lot of the time though, you'll just want a brief ticket list, which looks like this. I've generated it earlier just for saving time. The layout's the same. It shows you when the report was generated, which is important, so you know that this information is true as of that date. It shows you the drawing, highlights whereabouts on the drawing the tickets are, and then you've just got a basic ticket list. If you do a detailed report, as I said, you'll get a lot more here. You'll get a full audit trail below each one, but a lot of the time, this is all you need. And this is good. You can publish reports like this to hand over to the client, and it allows you to have all of your information in one place so you know exactly what you're doing and where it's been done. So you've seen how the system works. There are obviously a lot of benefits to it. The most important one at the moment, I guess, is safety. It's a very important issue for everybody, maintaining distancing where possible. It allows you to do that by cutting down on the number of people that you have on site. This also helps the environment, which is of great concern to a lot of people. Less people driving the site, obviously an important thing. And of course, it does improve the quality of your work. It reduces mistakes, and it means that your data is safe. It's not going to go missing. And you also get an overview of your project at all times. If you'd like more information, there are various different ways to get in touch. It would be great to discuss it with you further. And thanks very much for your time today.